If you have issues with structure, this video is going to help you fix that. Hey HGstars, you are welcome back to the channel. If you are new on this channel, do not forget to hit the subscribe button because we teach strategies on how to trade synthetic indices and other financial markets, even if you are a beginner. So if this sounds like something you love, do not forget to turn on the notification bell and hit the subscribe button. So I'm going to be explaining structure in the simplest format in this video. If you have issues with structure, this video is going to help you get it still sorted. Now, what do we exactly mean by structure? What do we mean by market structure? Market structure is the combination of the activities of traders in the market. Now, you know that we have two things that happen in the market. It is either you buy or you sell. Those are the two activities that happen in the market. So we have both buyers and sellers in the market. Now, the combination of their activities in the market is what creates pattern. And that pattern is what we call structure. Now, we have basics of structure and we have advanced structure, but I'm going to simplify everything in this video. So normally we know that we have two types of structure. We have the trending structure and then we have the ranging structure. Trending simply means that there is a continuous movement to a particular direction, while ranging simply means that there is just a movement towards just one side. Under the trending, we have uptrend and we have downtrend. So uptrend simply means that we are in consistent movement to the upside, while downtrend simply means that we are in consistent movement towards the downside. And of course, you know that even if we are in continuous movement to the upside, sellers would also be in the market. If we are in continuous movement to the downside, buyers would also be in the market. So this is like a war between buyers and sellers. And it is their activities that create structure for us. Now, if we are in an uptrend and we have a high, we have a low. That is what uptrend creates. We have an impulse and we have a retracement. Market gives us impulse and gives us retracement. We have impulse, there would also be a retracement. Now, for you to know that we are in an uptrend, the next high has to be higher than the previous high, meaning this movement, this impulse to the upside, this movement to the upside has to go higher than the previous high. And that is what we call our break of structure. Now, we will also have retracement. Remember, market can just move impulsively to just one direction. There would be buyers and sellers at the same time in the market, and it is going to be a tug of who is going to win the movement. So if we have a high and we have a retracement, when market is giving us an impulse movement back, it has to be higher than the previous high. And that is what we call as our break of structure. You can call it BOS or you can call it BMS. Anyone that is comfortable for you. Now, when market gives us a break to the upside, we are expecting a retracement at least up to 50% of the previous range. Market has to come to at least 50% of the previous range before we categorize it as a normal retracement or a good retracement, because sellers has to balance what buyers has done in their impulse movement. So we have to come to at least 50% of the previous range. The previous high is broken. We want to see a retracement. That is exactly how market moves in an uptrend. So we have a creation of higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. The next high, the next low has to be higher than the previous low for us to know that we are in an uptrend. Now market comes back and go below the previous low. What do we call it? We call it a change of character and not a break of structure. We call this a change of character and not a break of structure. Why? Because it is the first violation of the normal movement of the structure. So we call it a change of character instead of a break of structure. And of course, you know that when we have a change of character, it does not necessarily mean that market wants to start selling from there. Sometimes market is still going to continue that move to the upside. Change of character sometimes can be a deceit. So you need market to give you another break to the downside before you assume that we want to start moving to the downside. Now, when we are in an uptrend, our market creates a high without breaking the previous high, and it creates a low for us, and we have a break of structure to the upside. When market comes back and break this low, you are not calling it a change of character. This is not a change of character for you. A change of character has to be the lowest low created before we had a break of structure. Now, this low was just created inside the structure. This was where we had a break of structure. And that high did not give us a break to the upside. So this is not the lowest low. So when market comes back to break this low, don't target a change of character. you do not target a change of character. This is another structure on its own. Until market comes back to break this low, you don't have a change of character yet. Until we come back to take out this low, there is no change of character in the market yet. And when we are in a downtrend, same thing with the downtrend, we have lower high, lower low. The low has to be lower than the previous low, and the high has to be lower than the previous high. That is what makes for a downtrend. And when we are in a downtrend and market creates a high inside the structure without breaking this low, when market comes back to take this high, you do not target a change of character until market comes back to break the highest high for that range before you target a change of character. So let us check this right on our chart and see how it looks like. See, in this particular asset, we were in an uptrend. Market created a high, we created a low, which is our higher low. And our new high is higher than our previous high, which is a new higher high. We had market come back to take this low. We had market come back to create a new higher low. And before we had a break of structure, market came back and created another low. Now, when we come back to break this particular low, you are not calling it a change of character until market comes back to break this particular low. Until this low is broken, you do not call it a change of character. So we had a high, a low, a high, a low. Market created a high, a low, which is obvious that we were in a constant movement to the upside. A high, a low, a high. Then we had a change of character. You can see that this was the last higher low that we had here. And market came to take it out, creating us a change of character. We had a high, we had a low, a high, a low. Market created a high and a low. We came back to take out this high and give us a change of character. The market started moving to the upside again. You can see we had a high. But this high did not break this previous high. So market came back and gave us a change of character. This was what I was saying, that when we have a change of character, sometimes it can be deceit. And after this change of character, markets came back and gave us a break of structure, which is our proper break. And you can see that markets came back and took out this low. We came back and took out this low. Now, this low is not your change of character until market comes back to take this low before you say this is a change of character, and then you can start looking for how to join the sell continuation. So market taking out this low does not give us a change of character because this high did not break our previous high. And this low was the lowest low that occurred in the market before we had a break of structure to the upside. So next time you're analyzing your market, do not make the mistake of marking out your internal structure as a change of character. I hope you learned one or two things from this video. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.